Herodias and Salome. Herodias and Salome are mentioned 3 times in the Bible. First in Matthew 14, then Mark 6, and then Luke 3. In Matthew 14, it says, "At the time Herod the Tetrarch heard about the fame of Jesus, and he said to his servants, 'This is John the Baptist. He has been raised from the dead. That is why these miraculous powers are at work in him. For Herod has seized John and bound him and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife. Because John had been saying to him, "It is not lawful for you to have her." And though he wanted to put him to death, he feared the people because they held him to be a prophet. But when Herod's birthday came, the daughter of Herodias danced before the company and pleased Herod, so that he promised with an oath to give her whatever she might ask. Prompted by her mother, she said, "Give me the head of John the Baptist here on a platter." And the king was sorry, but because of his oaths and his guests, he commanded it to be given. He sent and had John beheaded in the prison, and his head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, and she brought it to her mother, and the disciples came and took the body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. The history is, Herodias was the mother of Salome. She was also the granddaughter of Herod the Great. She first married her father's brother, her uncle, Philip I, and they had one child. Philip's half-brother, Herod Antipas, wanted Herodias for his own wife, so he divorced his wife and married her while his brother was still alive. Because John the Baptist is very verbal, criticizing their immortality, Herodias plotted to kill him. She had her daughter Salome gain Herod's favor by dancing seductively for him at a banquet. Herod was so pleased with her dancing that he promised her anything she wanted. So at the request of her mother, she asked for the head of John the Baptist on a platter. Salome later married her uncle Philip and then her cousin. Seductive dance, or entertaining play. So what exactly did young Salome do to entertain her audience? Admittedly, the rich did indulge in some pretty salacious entertainment, which sometimes involved children, but it is possible that Salome's dance was amusing and endearing rather than erotic, which still doesn't explain why Herod Antipas made such a ridiculous and extravagant oath to the girl regardless of her age. Moreover, the word for dance can refer to children at play, so it is possible that Salome was playing in an amusing way to entertain her audience and was not just dancing. Orchomai is used in the context of children and dance in a quote from Jesus, and the only other occurrences of this word in the New Testament. Honestly, Jesus' quote about children dancing is in the 2 passages about John the Baptist, who would later be killed because of the child's dance. Rather than being a willing temptress, young Salome well have been an innocent pawn in her mother's act of revenge against John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, the precursor of Jesus who foretold his coming, was decapitated because of his disrespect towards King Herod. Despite the constant warnings which Salome, daughter of Herodias and stepdaughter of Herod, gave to John the Baptist, begging him not to denounce Herod's incestuous marriage and to accept the conditions of the king's rule, he never heeded the warnings. In the end, Herod and Herodias had him executed by decapitation. At the time of his death, Jesus was still alive. John the Baptist's head has been the most important holy relic of Christianity. It has been worshipped both by Muslims and Christians.
Salome isn't named in the Bible. As a matter of fact, she does not have a name. It wasn't until Flavius Josephus wrote his Jewish Iniquities that the beautiful stepdaughter of Herod was named Salome. Some researchers have suggested that despite the widespread belief that the origin of the legend of Salome is in the New Testament, it is likely that the literary sources of this myth arose from the accounts of Cicero, Plutarch, and Seneca. In these sources, some prisoners were sacrificed to satisfy the perverse pleasures of the powerful and dissolute.